Welcome to WordPress for Web Development Lab number 1. One of the things that we learned about WordPress in this chapter was its modular construction. So for this lab, we're going to look at the structure of a WordPress website. If you evaluate the following code, this is an entire HTML page. Can you determine how we need to divide this up so that WordPress can put this page together in its modular structure? We have our doc type as the beginning, our head, body, the header, the nav, the containers, all of these parts here. So how are we going to put this together in a way that WordPress can work with it? So what we're going to do, if you want to put this into another theme folder, you can create your own theme, or you can just create another page. But in any case, another template file. I would actually recommend you do that. Follow what you learned in this lesson to be able to create your own theme so you can do this exercise. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take the header, and the header would be from the doc type all the way down to our So what we want to do is take the doc type all the way down to our nav. And this will become our header because it contains all of these elements, but more importantly, it contains the menu. By having the menu separate, it means that you can just create the menu once and put it into one file, and WordPress will pull it in no matter which page or which template you're using. So this right here becomes the header. This is the header.php, and this is a template part, and I will get into that in a moment. And if we continue on, what comes after it is going to be the index.php, and this is starting with the container and to the end of the container. The container holds both the content and the sidebar, so that if we scroll back up to our code, you will notice that here is the container. It has the content, and this is where the content ends, and then we have the sidebar. And what we are going to have here is going to be our sidebar. And what I have done, just get it in view, so that I have put a placeholder for the sidebar here, and then I have taken the sidebar out and I have put it in here, and I just put a paragraph in, and with a paragraph tag just to say the sidebar is working. That way we'll know when it pulls in the sidebar, we will know that we are displaying the sidebar with WordPress's modular construction. Finally, we are going to put the footer into its own template part. And what we have when we create these files, the index.php is the actual template. This is the main file that WordPress is going to load. And it needs to pull all of these in. And if you remember what we did, we have to bring in these parts with the function calls getHeader, and what this does is it looks for the header.php file. That is what this function call does. To get the sidebar, we are going to look for, it's going to look for the sidebar.php file. And finally, the getFooter, it is going to look for the footer.php file. And this is how WordPress will pull all of these files in. So that this is WordPress modular construction. This is your lab. I will see you in the next chapter.